here's the standard disclaimer. Feel free to go on our website and read to your heart's content. I'm sure you read many of these in the past. Well, let me tell you, the story of Blue Lagoon really is we have three properties, but I'm going to focus on one main one, which is Dome Mountain. And really, the key here that we have is three different opportunities. There's three different angles to our story. Number one, near production. When I say near production, we really are true near production, meaning that we expect that to happen this year. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little later, because we have all the permits and the environmental permits, the mining permits in place, and we expect that to happen this year. Number two, we have a clear path to a million ounces on our main Boulder vein, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And number three, there's a tremendous amount of blue sky on the 19,000 hectare property that we took over. That has hardly been explored. So when I say near production, the only reason why this mine is not currently in production is because the previous owners literally ran out of time. They're 83 years old, wonderful people, but not in the best of health, and they just could not finish it, take to the finish line. They spent $28 million over the last 12 years, all on development, infrastructure, and permitting. And some of you may know it takes 20 years in BC to get a permit, and the average being about 14 years. So one of the keys to our property project is that we actually have the environmental permits, we have the mining permits, and the only reason it's not in production right now is because there were three key amendments that needed to be done. A $2 million budget. We've deployed the $2 million. We've finished two out of the three amendments that are required. One being the underground bolting, all complete now. The water treatment system, we announced that about 3 weeks ago. All finished. We're about to start the final testing of that water treatment facility in about 3 weeks. And the reclamation plans, which ERM is about 70% completed. Once the water treatment system gives us all the final numbers, they'll upgrade all those. And we'll submit everything to the ministry, we expect by about August. And then it's just working through the process and getting the green light, which I expect to happen sometime later on this year. So that's the number one piece of it. We are just, and also to show you how close we really are, we have over 7,000 tons of mineralized material that's sitting in the mine right now. And since we spoke last time, since I presented last time, this is one of the updates. As of last month, we sent our first truck out to the mill, and just to get our logistics organized. I'm a very methodical person. I want to make sure that we leave nothing to chance. So we sent that truck out, and it went without a hitch. In fact, the owner of that trucking company is coming out to see us next week just to finalize further plans. The reason that's important is in about 3 weeks, when breakup is done, when all the snow is melted and the roads are back in shape again, we're going to start trucking that 7,000 plus tons out to the mill, and we expect that to run somewhere around for 7 or 8 weeks, and that will we're expecting somewhere around 2,500 ounces. So I'm very excited that some point in July we're actually going to pour our first. Something, I don't know, be a bar or a coin, but we're gonna do something here in July. That's going to be very, very exciting as we wait to finalize the rest of the amendments and get the green light. So that's the number one part is the near production. The second part is a clear path to a million ounces. And before I mention that, the property is just outside of the town of Smithers. You see on the left hand side here. We actually have two properties side by side, and one is this here that we also negotiated in the deal, called the Big Onion. It's a very nice copper porphyry, and of course, Gwen just talked about copper prices, and they all seem to be headed upwards. So that's going to become a very interesting property for us to monetize at some point. That's only 20 minutes away from the town of Smithers. Our main property, the Dome Mountain, is right here, and it's about less than an hour, about 50 minutes drive all year round. We can access it. You can see the topography here. Here's the road that runs right through our property. This is all maintained by the Forest Service companies. You can see the clear cutting here. And these little red dots down below here, this is where our mine is. And the other little red dots are the 15 other known veins. What's very exciting about this, about the other thing that's very exciting about this property is that all of the focus was always done on the south end here in where this mine is and these veins are. all of this vast area up here was never explored. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. That's very exciting because we flew the first ever airborne property-wide survey on this thing, and the whole property is lit up. I mean, it was just amazing. Everybody was scratching their head, wondering how come this has been under the radar all these years. Well, it's because it was a private company, and they were focusing on just trying to get this thing into production in a very bad gold market in the last dozen years or so, as we're all familiar with. So if we focus now into just this little red area here, and if we take a look at this illustration, you'll see our main boulder vein. This little black diamond is where the mine currently is. The solid red line is the boulder vein. We have currently a nice little starter resource there of just a little over 200,000 ounces in inferred and indicated, grading about 12 grams a ton. So it's a very nice high grade property. And what's interesting is that the left here that you see this dotted line to the west, this is 800 meters. And in 2016, this was drilled. And you can see here in the cross section here, this is the area I'm talking about here. You can see that it's all mineralized. All of this here, drill holes that they did, is all mineralized. The only reason, of course, it's not in any category is because of the density of the drilling wasn't there. So we know that's our low-hanging fruit. We can go in there, we can drill that out, and very quickly get that into a category and get to 450, 500,000 ounces. The second part of this here is that it was never really drilled to depth. It's open at depth, and the handful of drill holes that were done here, you can see here, all mineralized and all high grade. If you look at the chart to the left here, you can see that it's all high grade mineralization. So we went in there and we actually drilled down to the deepest point so far, 338 meters, and we hit over 3 meters, running nearly 18 grams gold and 70 grams silver. So everything's been very consistent with all the data that we've accumulated and that we've tested. So we have a high degree of confidence that by drilling deeper, because we know it's open at depth, that we can once again significantly add ounces to our project, thereby getting us into that upper, close to that million ounce mark. And then we've got the Boulder East. And if we look at that here to this dotted line here, we just drilled that recently, and we've news released all this. You can see it on our website, and you'll see there that again, nice results. Here's the Boulder East. These little yellow dots here are the drill holes that I'm talking about. What was very interesting is that not only was it all mineralized, but the airborne that I just talked about identified this very interesting mag feature here. This is 1.5 kilometers long. So this appears to be likely the extension of this boulder vein. So we'll see. And if not, worst case, maybe it's a new discovery. So we've got a number of opportunities happening here, for us. So that gives us a pretty good basis to believe that we go to the west, that 800 meters. We go to the east. We go to the depth. That'll get us. That's our pathway to the million ounces. So we've got near production. We've got a pathway to 1 million ounces. The third piece of our story, which I believe is very exciting, is the other veins and the other vastness of the property. So I'm not going to talk about all the 15 veins, but if we just look at one here, this is to the north. This is called Free Gold. This is about 1.5 kilometers to the north of the main vein. And if we look at that, this is a historical map that we have for that vein. This is 300 meters looking from top to the bottom here, and it's quite fascinating if you look at it. These are all in ounces. So this is 1.2 ounces over 112 feet. This is 3.25 over 95 feet. Here's a 1.8 over 100 feet. And by the way, a lot of silver here. You can see here 3.14 ounces silver over 100 feet. I forgot to mention that at the boulder vein in the starter resource, it runs about 1 to 4 gold to silver ratio. So we have a couple 100,000 right now in our inferred and our indicated categories, but we also have 1 million ounces of silver. So there's a lot of silver here as well, which is very interesting to us as prices of silver obviously are increasing. So if we look at this free gold a little closer, here's the airborne that's identified at least 5 new targets for us beyond what we already know. So the Boulder vein is down here, and number 5 is what I just showed you, this free gold. And if we go a little closer into this here, you can see here there's the vein in the middle. Boulder, their main vein is down here to the south, and my technical team is very excited about this because they tell me that this is a classic porphyry signature. around this. So we have a lot of blue sky here that, obviously when we go and test this here in the next several weeks and throughout the summer, if we hit that porphyry, well, that's a complete game changer for this company. So and that's only one of 5 new targets, and we believe there are more that we're going to be identifying here shortly. So that's a free gold. Here's a high level view of the airborne that we did. You can see why we expanded our claim block. This here butted right against our claim block, and we immediately staked all this around it that night. And of course, thank goodness we did, because the following week we got the EM back, and look at the activity that's going on here, and you can see also the south of the boulder. So there's just this is the exciting part of exploration, and I think that I'm in a very fortunate situation that I have this near-term opportunity to get this into cash flowing situation, and we have a clear path to that our million ounces, and we have this tremendous blue sky that the data is supporting and is showing us. So that's in a nutshell is our story here on Dome Mountain. You can see some of the results that we've news released, and again, this has all been news released, and you can take a look. Anywhere from 15 grams a ton gold, 101 grams silver over 1.7 meters to 107 grams over 1.42. So you can see all the different results, and you can take a closer look at our website. But all high grade, certainly 12 grams plus over some nice widths. And then real quick on our 2 other properties, we have this. We have a Big Onion, which is a copper porphyry. It has a historical non-compliant 43-101 resource. It's about 690 million pounds of copper. It's got about $8 million already spent on it, a little more than 300 holes already drilled. It's got 2 other targets that are ready to go. So with copper increasing, that's going to be very interesting for us to monetize, either JV it or sell it. And then we have this product, this Palair, which is by Williams Lake. Very nice property, high grade, 10 high grade gold veins. You can see the road right here. We can drive right up to it. The best part I like about this, though, is this right here. This is 25,000 tons sitting by the number 3 vein. We don't need any permits or anything to truck that out and get that to the mill and process it. We intend to do that this summer and start that process. And again, that'll bring in some more money into the treasury. And speaking of the treasury, we have a very healthy treasury still after deploying the $2 million for the amendments, after doing almost 7,700 meters of drilling so far of our 20,000 meter drill program that we announced in January, that I've spent a couple $1 million on already. We've still got about $3 million in cash. We've got no debt. We're on a very tight ship. We've got no debt. And we got about $5 million in the money warrants that are starting to come in, and a very friendly shareholders. So we'll get that coming in soon as well. So there's a number of different ways that we figured that we can monetize and keep the treasury healthy. So that's the story. There's been lots going on, and I'd like to show you real quick. We have a short little 2-minute video, so you can see the landscape. You can see how developed this project really is. So if we can roll that video, we'll give our audience a chance to have a peek at the property. Much. Just a couple of last and final thoughts. Look, I believe we're really cheap. We have 72 million shares out approximately. We're about a $38 million market cap. I personally increased my share position by over a million shares about 2 months ago. I own about 5% of the company now. Me, my family, and a handful of my friends have put in $2.2 million now into this company. So, we're serious. We've got skin in the game. And, I hope you ask some more questions, do some due diligence, and become a shareholder of Blue Lagoon Resources.